Hello मेरे प्यारे students and welcome back. I know, exams are just around the corner and the pressure is building up. But don't you worry because today we are going to smash this chapter, our environment, together. We'll make it so simple, you'll be ready to score full marks, guaranteed.
And hey, before we dive in, if you find this helpful, just take a second to hit that subscribe button and share this with your friends. Learning together is always more fun, right? Your comments really make my day, so keep them coming. Okay, let's do this. So, here's our game plan for today. First, we'll cover the basics. What is an ecosystem? Then we'll solve the mystery of food chains and see where the energy goes. After that, we'll tackle two big real-world problems, our ozone layer and all that garbage we create. And finally, the most important part, your golden ticket to full marks, the top exam takeaways. Let's go step by step. It's going to be super easy.
Okay, first up, what on earth is an ecosystem? Now, this word might sound big and scientific, but trust me, it's all around you, in your garden, in a little pond, even in a drop of water.
So, the textbook definition looks a bit complicated, but it's actually really simple. Think of an ecosystem as a team. It's a team made of all the living things, which we call biotic, and all the non-living things, called abiotic, all interacting in one place.
The easiest way to remember this? Think of a cricket match. All the biotic components, the plants, animals, bacteria, all living things, they're the players. And all the abiotic components, the non-living things like the soil, the water, the sunlight, well, that's the playground. You can't have a game without players and a ground, right? Simple as that.
Now on this team there are three types of star players. First, we have the producers. They're like the chefs, the green plants that make their own food. Then we have the consumers, like you and me, who eat the food. And finally, we have the super important decomposers, the cleanup crew, like bacteria and fungi who break everything down.
So we know the players. Now let's figure out the game they're playing. This brings us to our next part, food chains and energy flow. We're going to be detectives and answer two big questions. Who eats whom, and where does all the energy actually go?
It all starts with one simple question. Who eats whom? A grasshopper eats grass, a frog eats the grasshopper, and a snake eats the frog. See, it's a chain.
And that's exactly what a food chain is, a series of who eats whom. Now, each step in this chain has a very important name, and you must remember this for your exam. It's called a trophic level. Say it with me, trophic level. Star this, highlight it in your book, Butcho. This is a hot favorite exam question.
Let's look at this ladder. Step 1, at the very bottom, we have the producers, the plants. At step 2, we have the primary consumers, the herbivores who eat the plants. Step 3 is for the secondary consumers, the carnivores that eat the herbivores. And at the very top, we have the tertiary consumers, the big bosses.
But wait, here comes the biggest plot twist in this whole chapter. Are you ready? At each step, only 10% of the energy gets passed on. Just 10%. Imagine a plant has 100 rupees worth of energy. The deer that eats it only gets 10 rupees. And the lion that eats the deer, it gets only 1 rupee. A whopping 90% is lost at every step.
This 10% rule gives us this very important diagram, the energy pyramid. Notice how it's wide at the bottom and gets narrow as you go up? That's because so much energy is lost. The producers at the bottom have the most energy. By the time you get to the top, there's very little left. And this is exactly why most food chains only have 3 or 4 steps. There just isn't enough energy for more.
Okay, exam time. A quick pop quiz. Tal, let's try this one. What is the role of decomposers in the ecosystem? Take a second, pause if you need to, and think about it. Ready?
Here's the perfect answer for your paper. Decomposers are nature's recyclers. They break down all the dead and decaying stuff into simple nutrients, which go back into the soil and make it rich for plants to grow again. The key words you must use are breakdown and replenishment of nutrients.
Now, this next concept is a little scary, but very important. It's called biological magnification. Imagine farmers spray pesticides. These harmful chemicals get into the plants. Then a goat eats lots of these plants. The chemical builds up inside the goat. Then a human eats the goat. See what's happening? The poison gets more and more concentrated at each trophic level. And because humans are often at the top of the food chain, we can get the highest dose.
Okay, moving on to our next big environmental issue, the ozone problem. The best way to think of the ozone layer is as a giant invisible umbrella that protects the Earth from the sun's harmful rays. But
We've been poking holes in it.
Now, ozone is a very interesting molecule. It's like a Bollywood actor with a double role. When it's high up in the atmosphere, in the stratosphere, it's our hero. It saves us. But when that same ozone is down here at ground level, it becomes the villain. It's a poisonous gas. So for ozone, it's all about location, location, location.
So what's damaging our hero's umbrella? The main culprit is a man-made chemical called chlorofluorocarbons, or CFCs. They used to be in old fridges, ACs, and spray cans. The problem is they destroy ozone, letting in dangerous UV radiation that can cause things like skin cancer. But here's the good news. The whole world came together in 1987 and agreed to stop producing CFCs, a great example of global teamwork.
All right, let's talk about our final topic, and it's something we see every single day. Garbage, our kachara. It's time we learn to sort it out, because this is a huge problem.
Look, it's really simple. There are two kinds of waste. First, biodegradable. This is stuff that can naturally rot and mix back with the soil, like vegetable peels and paper. But then there's non-biodegradable waste, things like plastic, glass, and metal. This stuff is like a stubborn guest who just refuses to leave. It stays in the environment for hundreds, even thousands of years, causing huge problems.
And this brings us to the biggest troublemaker of them all, plastic. Why is everyone so worried about plastic? Well, because it's non-biodegradable. It chokes our rivers and oceans, harms animals, and breaks down into tiny toxic particles. It just never really goes away.
Okay, everyone, eyes on the screen. This is it, the final, most important part. Your quick revision for getting those full marks. Let's do a rapid-fire round of the golden points from this chapter.
Okay, Bacho, don't forget these 5 points. Number 1, energy flow is a one-way street. From the sun to the plants to animals, it's unidirectional. Number 2, the 10% law. Only a tiny fraction of energy moves to the next level. Number 3, what damages the ozone layer? CFCs. Number 4, biological magnification. Remember, the poison increases as you go up the food chain. And number 5, the best solution for our garbage problem is the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. If you remember these 5 points, you are set.
And just like that, we're done. See? That wasn't so bad, was it? Now I have one final question for you. What is one small change you will make for our environment starting today? Let me know in the comments below. I want to hear from you. All the very best for your exams. I know you will all do brilliantly. Bye-bye for now.